Hi, I'm Dr. Hisham, and I'm here to share with you why and how a special product called Toothmousse inspired me to make better and do my own oral care serum products, and also how and why I couldn't use it with my daughter. And I want to share with you here both stories, both parts of the story, how it inspired me because of aspirational motives and how it inspired me because of a dissatisfaction that made me want to do something better. Before we go into the details of the story and the history of it, I want to explain to you what Toothmousse is, because some of you watching this might not know what it is in the first place. So Toothmousse is a very special product created by a company called GC in Japan, which makes dental products and sells it to dentists, so it's sold through dentists and pharmacies. The Recaldent, the trademark for it, is owned by Cadbury, so GC kind of licensed it from Cadbury, and the original research and invention and patenting was done in University of Melbourne by some amazing professors. So that's what it is historically, but what does it do? It's supposed to be a conditioner for your teeth. Just like you use shampoo and then conditioner for your hair, it was supposed to be a conditioner for teeth. So the proposal was to clean your teeth with normal toothpaste and then apply the Toothmousse for kids, adults, children, at any age basically, as a conditioner to leave it on so that it helps you strengthen your teeth, protect you from tooth decay, erosion, and help remineralize teeth if they've already been acidified slightly, which is exactly the beauty of what inspired me when I heard that it's coming out on the market around 2003, 2004. I was like, yes, finally, we have that. Before that, I had already known that it was coming out because I was actively seeking conversations and meetings and conferences with professors and teachers, researchers, manufacturers, talking about better oral healthcare products, safer oral healthcare products, calcium instead of fluoride, and so on and so forth. So I was very excited when the professors that I was talking to advised me that there is a product coming out with calcium phosphate as the main active ingredient, the main remineralizing agent. It will be fluoride free and it's going to be great so that kids can use it, everybody can use it. And I'm like, yes, finally we have something. And I wanted to use it for my own daughter because yes, at that time I was making her some stuff at home, but we didn't have a solid product and I wasn't happy with anything that was out there. I really bought every product that I could purchase in the US, from Europe, here in Australia, New Zealand, and I wasn't impressed with anything at all. So I was really happy and grateful that finally we are applying the evidence that we have known for years. It wasn't new research about calcium and phosphate being the necessary components for teeth, but it was time to actually make that into a real product, into a real application rather than just research. And of course, having corporates come in with big funds and big money like Cadbury and GC, who are making the products basically containing Recaldent, coming behind the project made it happen because they could pay for marketing, they could pay for more research. So they market it to all the dentists, to all the pharmacies, they market online, they market in different places. So it brought awareness to people that we require and need calcium and phosphate for our teeth, not just fluoride and everything else. That was wonderful. I really loved that fact. I knew that was coming and I saw some of the marketing and then it came out and I was very impressed with the marketing and I was very happy about that whole part. And of course, very happy to know about the research that was done on it in Melbourne and all the other, how it combines with the other research from before that. And all this aspiration that came out of speaking to those professors, knowing what the product's going to do and all that, especially at that time when I was seeking to formalize the ideas that were going through in my head and I had to make my own products, made me aspire to do something like this and hopefully even better because we wanted to apply it and make it stay inside the mouth. So it was like a trigger point in my life at that point. I hadn't made any official products yet. I was mixing my own stuff for my daughter and for myself, as I said, but it wasn't anything that was even giving away to anybody else at that time, 2004. It only took 10 years after that for us to really finalize everything, but it was constant work and constant testing and trialing during that time. So I'm grateful for all the inventions and the innovators and the researchers at the university and all the manufacturers and everybody else who brought this to life and brought awareness to the marketplace and to dentistry in specific, to dentists and hygienists and therapists who also could pass it on to their patients, basically to the people at large. So that was where the positive part was really great. Now, the part I was dissatisfied with that also inspired me though, nothing is all good or bad, it's all part of the same equation. So you look at something and you go, can I do better? Yes. Should I do better? If yes, then you should basically. And what are you happy with? How can you apply that? So when we got the product and we started trying it out with my daughter, of course, I started reading what's in it in more detail, and I realized that while all the research was done on the calcium phosphate carried in this protein called casein, I didn't realize exactly what's the protein casein. I knew it was from cow's milk and it was from cows and all these things, but it just didn't occur in my mind to connect the dots until I read the warnings on the back of it, which I will read out to you on the back of the product. The warning about the casein itself and my daughter's situation when she was a baby, when, as I told you in the last videos, she was allergic to many things, but she was also mainly intolerant to milk, to cow's milk. We could give her goat's formula, but not cow's milk. She would immediately break up into rashes and start itching. And at that time, I was studying about all of these allergies, obviously, and how we can overcome them and how we can make safer products for our kids. And I realized that the majority of the people who are actually intolerant to milk and so-called lactose intolerant, they're actually not lactose intolerant, they're casein intolerant. It's a much more probable allergenic component to a lot of individuals than the lactose, because lactose is also in mother's milk. So there's very few people who will be ever allergic to mother's milk, to the breast milk basically. But casein as a protein is very low. It is present, but it's very low in mother's milk, and of course probably a different form than the cow's milk casein. But lactose is the same, it's just a sugar basically. So even though we label a lot of people lactose intolerant, most of it is actually casein intolerance. The point is they just can't have that type of milk. Knowing that with my daughter, reading it on the label then and realizing, oh my God, I can't give her that casein, and we tried it actually, it didn't really help her a lot. I went further into reading the rest of the ingredients. So reading about all the good parts and good research, and amazing research actually, and evidence and everything else that was building around the CPP-ACP, the amorphous calcium phosphate that's held in that casein. Even though I couldn't give that to my daughter because of the casein, and it says so here, do not give. Recaldent is derived from milk casein. Do not use on patients with a milk protein and or hydroxybenzoate allergy. I'll talk about the hydroxybenzoate in a second. Okay, so first ingredient, pure water, glycerol, CPP-ACP, that's the amorphous calcium phosphate. All good things, no problems there. Then as we went down the list, I was like, wow, okay, propylene glycol, petrochemical glycol, silicon dioxide, titanium dioxide. All the white pastes are white because they contain titanium dioxide, and that is not okay to ingest daily, on a daily basis. So it's not good for the skin on a daily basis, let alone to put inside your mouth, inside your body on a daily basis. So I was like, okay, titanium dioxide, no go. Xylitol, fantastic. Phosphoric acid, don't want acid on a daily basis. Flavoring, not sure which one is there. Zinc oxide, also to ingest zinc oxide every day. Zinc is a good and very essential mineral, but zinc oxide, again a white paste, to ingest it is not a very good thing. Zinc citrate, zinc ascorbate, or other zinc salts, that's a whole different story. And then sodium saccharin, didn't want to give my daughter saccharin on a daily basis, neither would I use it myself. Ethyl hydroxybenzoate, magnesium oxide, again more white paste. And basically there is ethyl, propyl, and butyl hydroxybenzoates. There's 3 types of benzoates there as preservatives for the product. These benzoates, obviously derivatives of benzene, these are the parabens that most people, if not the majority of human beings these days, who are aware basically and looking at ingredients and studying things for their health and their skin and all that, know very well not to use on their skin, parabens. But now, why are we consuming them internally on a daily basis and giving them to our children? So when I read all these things, I'm like, oh my God, I'm inspired on the one side with the calcium and phosphate being the main thing, the main part of the story here. But then I was like, okay, I'm not satisfied giving my daughter all of these other ingredients. What can I do? And of course the answer was, well, if I'm not happy with this, I can't change it, I can't complain. The big corporates, good research, they're doing their own thing. I'll just go and create something of my own. It wasn't easy, wasn't quick, wasn't convenient at all. We continued with the powders, we continued with the mouth rinse and all that, and the serums only came through 2014 because I couldn't find any chemists who would help me do what I wanted to do, which is include not just calcium and phosphate, but all these amazing minerals, all these amazing biominerals that are necessary, not just for teeth, but for everything inside your mouth and inside your body. So gut health, bone health, teeth, gums, all these water-soluble biominerals had to be dissolved in water. But I wanted to include plant fibers like tauterol and xylitol. While xylitol is also water-soluble, tauterol is not water-soluble, it's oil-soluble. And I wanted oils. I wanted to create a vegan, not because I'm vegan or my family is vegan, but because I wanted to be a universal product. So nobody has any problems using these products. Nobody has any problem putting it in their child's mouth, whether they're vegan or not. Also, if it's vegan, it is by default easy to get halal and kosher certification for people who might be concerned about where the source of that meat-based product or byproduct, the milk or whatever, where does it come from? So I wanted just to cut out all these conversations and make sure everything is vegan, food grade, everything is food grade, no parabens, no toxins, no irritants, nothing that I would be worried, let alone sure that I would not put in my daughter's mouth on a daily basis, long term. And also that does everything in one go. So it can clean, heal, protect, and soothe all in the same aspect, not use something and then something else and then apply something else, and it just all adds on to the confusion that people go through. And it's not only about teeth, like I said, it's about the guts, it's about bones, it's about teeth, and very importantly, it's about the microbiome, the ecology that lives inside our mouths and guts, which if we don't balance, it messes us up. If we balance it, it helps us stay healthy. And for all of these above reasons, I wanted to make sure serums had to have a lot of good fats, a lot of good lipids. So, and I talk about this in many other videos, and you look at the ingredients, we talk about organic coconut oil and organic cocoa butter, plus other essential oils. And I could never find somebody who will help me. I looked and I found many chemists who were, all of them going like, you're crazy, you can't do that basically, without adding substances that I did not want to include in my products, other petrochemicals to make them join. They all said you cannot combine all these ingredients together, water soluble, oil soluble, have them solubilized, without using polysorbates and other ingredients that I was definitely on my no-no list. So it took a long time, but we finally did it. We tested it, we brought it out to the market, we tested it with obviously, I'm always the first tester of my own products. So is my daughter and my wife and our family and our friends. And from there it went further and further until it became what we call today Dr. Hisham's Vital Teeth Serum and Baby Teeth Serum. They all are good for you, healthy for all of you, inside and outside, for your microbiome, to remineralize teeth, to desensitize teeth, but also to protect the gums, protect the skin, the intraoral skin, which is so delicate. That mucosa is so vital that we look after it and nurture it and don't desiccate it and hurt it and put stuff that goes through it immediately into your bloodstream. Even if you don't swallow it, it gets into your bloodstream directly when you put anything onto your mucosa inside your mouth. So I want you to be careful when you're using or choosing any products that go onto your outer skin or into your inner skin or through your skin, up your mouth and your guts, that you're giving to your children, that you're taking yourselves long term. In moderation and in low quantities, nothing is harmful. Even the most toxic substances in low doses are not harmful to human beings because thankfully we have tolerance. But repeated long-term ingestion and intake of questionable or a combination of questionable ingredients, regardless of what good ingredient there is in a product, when you combine it with a combination of questionable or unhealthy ingredients long term, that is not a good idea in my opinion, and it's just something that I made a decision about years and years ago, and I wanted to bring it out to all my friends and to our guests, and now it's time for me to share that with you so you can make better informed choices, and I hope to talk to you soon. Until then, always aim to look better, feel better, and be better. Thank you.